So we have another Ask Father Tony video today, and since we had the success of having a little guest on with our seminarian Ryan Black, I decided to invite someone else. So I want to welcome Derek Swanson with us today, and Derek went through our RCIA program 3 years ago?
3 years ago as a candidate.
Yeah, so 3 years ago as a candidate. RCIA stands for the Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults, and it's our process by which we bring people into our Catholic Church. And it's a most kind of inspiring process for people, and I have the privilege of watching people go through it. So I wanted Derek just to share a little bit about his experience. So Derek, firstly, why don't you tell us why you decided to join RCIA?
I joined RCIA for a couple reasons. One being that I was getting married, my wife is Catholic, and we decided we wanted to be Catholic together, both of us. I wanted to dig into it and see what it was about and take that step. So that was one reason. The other reason was she was also my sponsor, and we wanted to do it together so that we could grow and learn more, and in our faith aspect of our relationship also. That was important, and that was a really great time that we both had that I don't think we expected how much closer it brought us together also.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I had the privilege of working with Derek and Maddie for their wedding, preparing them for their wedding, and I also did their wedding, which it was the hottest day of the year. So that's really great that it brought you closer together and sort of growing your faith together. Did you grow up in another faith? I mean, what was your background?
Yes, I grew up Lutheran, just straight down the road, St. John's, and it was a very good upbringing. My parents were very good about bringing me to church every Sunday and First Communion and Confirmation and all that. As I got older, and more involved in certain areas of my life with different people, I realized that although being Lutheran was great, I found myself leaning more towards believing and enjoying and everything that comes about with being a Catholic, I guess. And I had a great upbringing being Lutheran, but there were just some things that shifted me towards Catholicism, and I'm glad that it did.
Yeah, good. And so how would you say, you grew in your faith? Like, what would you say changed going through the process?
Definitely what grew is digging deeper into the main stories or the background stories that you hear at church every Sunday or Mass, and you hear talked about at Christmas, but being able to sit down and really study it and talk about it and go down and do field trips and things like that to really define it, so you really get a true understanding of what it means and what exactly it is.
Yeah. And would you say that through the process, your faith has really become like a daily experience for you?
Yes, absolutely. I find myself and my wife and both of us, we pray more often, we pray every day, we are doing different things that show and that reflect what RCIA instilled in us, and just everything about it, from studying the Bible more to paying deeper and closer attention to the messages and the homilies at church, and maybe reading the readings before. And that's what you do at RCA, is you read the readings before, and you're getting a chance to have a deeper reflection on them when you're in church, in Mass, listening.
That's really great. And then, so a year or 2 years later, you were a sponsor for a candidate, and how different was it going through it the second time?
Being a sponsor for a candidate was quite a bit different, and again, I didn't expect what it did to me. The first year being a candidate, when I went through it initially, it was really about learning about Catholicism and finding out if this is what's right for me and digging into it. Now, as a sponsor, when I went back, it was more about essentially not sitting back and watching, but you view it you get everything from a different angle. You think deeper, you go deeper into things, you experience different feelings, not just, oh, here's what it is, here's why. It's more like, I don't know what to say.
Profound, deep.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
deeper, it's just different, but it's a very good different, and you get a much deeper and richer and a much better calling, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks, Derek. So our program for this year is going to start in a few weeks, and I encourage you, I know there are a number of people in our parish who come to church every week and haven't taken that step to really join our Catholic faith. I encourage you to really look into that. Also, if you're thinking, boy, I wish I knew just a little bit more about my own faith, it is really great to go through RCIA just as a way to learn more about the faith. So I encourage you, and Derek, thank you very much for your time and being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.